Andrea Bomarito with ZSK Machines in St. Louis, Missouri, based here in the United States. And we are here at the ISS Impressions Expo 2020. So what you see behind me right now is an 8-head racer that we're displaying here at the show. And we have a couple of special things that we're showcasing to give people ideas and some new things that are out on the market. First of all, on this machine, it is doing 8 pieces at a time. We're doing these sweatshirts and we're running some specialty thread on here. We have a super twist by Madeira, and this makes the design pop out really nicely because it gives kind of a glitter effect. Especially on dark backgrounds with this thread, I see something really special that can really differentiate yourself from the competition. And not only that, but we're also adding a glitter flake, which is done by Stahls. Stahls was nice enough to supply some for us. And we are incorporating it within the design in that we're putting it within the orca itself, and you'll see a picture here on the video of the finished product. But it's nice with this material because I don't have to cut it in the exact shape and size for the applique. I can actually cut it to about the roundabout size and make sure that it's going to fit inside my design. So I can take this, put some spray adhesive on the back just to make sure that it's not going to move anywhere. On the design, I do a placement stitch that shows me where I need to put the material. Once that is done, the machine will stop. After it's stopped, I just place down the fabric here. And after that fabric is down, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna move a little bit out of frame to move this pantograph back. I have an applique button on my machine that will automatically move it back to the last stitch position. So I'm gonna go over here to the controller. I press the applique button. You'll see the machine move back into that last position. The next step that the machine is going to do, and I'll go ahead and hit the start button, is that it will go ahead and put down another stitch to tack down this fabric. Okay, so we have done the placement stitch and then the tack down stitch on the design, and now I'm going to move the pantograph forward so that the material can come out. Now, when I move it forward, I am going to actually tear this material off because there's going to be detail that goes over it. So the beauty of this product is that you can tear it away without having to cut or pre-cut the fabric. So here you can see that I can easily tear it away. The stitches will allow me to tear it on the outside of just what I need. You could do this normally with a satin stitch is what we typically see, but this is something just a little bit different that we're showing, and you can see too that there's quite a bit of potential with this type of material. So what you'll see next is after we tear it all off, we'll go ahead and start sewing again, and then what we'll do is you'll see the finished product. And after we do all this, you can see that the way that, as easy as it is to tear away on the outside, it could also tear on the inside. So we do want to make sure that we do heat press it because it does have a glue backing, and make sure that it does adhere to the fabric. So once this is all done, we'll show you the finished product. I think you'll find that it's really interesting and gives a lot of different texture to your finished design. So now we're here at the Racer 2 4W, and what the Racer 2 means is that it does have 18 needles per head and four heads, and it's a wide field machine. So you can see here we are stitching on one of our bigger tubular fields. This is about a 16 by 16 field that you can stitch on. And what we're highlighting here at the show are a couple of things. Number one, we do have the 18 needles. We also have a very fast color change that speeds up efficiency and your run time of your equipment. The other thing that we have is something called head selection, which I'll get into a little bit later. We're also showing how you could do applique to save on stitching for large pieces. So for example, this piece right here, I saved about 80,000 stitches in stitching and replaced it with applique fabric. I have several different applique fabrics that also give it a different look, make it pop a little bit more, and really give a rich looking effect too. So here I have pre-cut pieces. This is a polyester twill, and on the back of it, it does have a heat seal. So after you stitch this out, you can heat press it to ensure that that is not going to come up at all. Now it is secured by stitching, so it's not absolutely necessary, but it is recommended. So we have this for the dragon head. We also have this for the neck or the body of that dragon. So it's a small piece here. We do have the dragons here. That is, I don't have the piece with me, but we do have that as applique too. And then with the head selection, we're able to do different sports on each jacket automatically without any manual labor. So what this machine will do is actually turn the appropriate heads on or off, depending on which piece you're doing, and then stitch the appropriate, in this case, sport. So for example, as you can see down the line here, I have soccer, basketball, baseball, and football. And each one of these are different pieces, and they're done with a felt type of material. So it does give it another, point of richness of texture, and to kind of, take away stitches where I don't really need them, and it gives it a really nice look. So each one of these have not only a different sport ball, but also a different name. And we can do this with our quick text option in the GIS software. It'll queue up the names and actually feed the names and turn off the heads appropriately. So I have a name, a number, also a different sport name, and then I have the, of course, the sport ball. So all the heads will stitch the dragon, stitch the lettering of the dragons, then each head will do its own thing. After that's all done, it actually will turn all the heads back on, stitch the claw here, holding the ball, and then as well as our website down here at the bottom. So this is something quite unique that ZSK does have. You can use multi-heads for personalization, which before really wasn't very cost effective because you'd have the labor to turn the heads on and off manually, and then also to load each design independently. But now it's all automated within our system. You can also use head selections for some really unique embroidery by spanning your design across all 4 heads using a border frame, which here you see each individual piece framed, but a border frame would allow me to hoop one piece of fabric across the entire machine. And then each head could do something different and have a really nice looking design. And you can even toggle the heads, so maybe head 4 and head 3 can do something together, and then all heads can do something together, and you can really program it any way you want. You can customize it any way you want. This is available on all of our multi-head equipment and actually can be added on to existing multi-head equipment for the ZSK series.
Hi folks, my name is Frank Giesmann. I'm coming from ZSK Germany, and today I'm presenting you the latest machine from ZSK, a Sprint 7L. What is the Sprint 7L specialty about? The Sprint 7L contains 18 needles instead of 12. So you have much more colors and much more varieties, and we are much more flexible. So the embroidery field also is extra large. That means you can have 400 by 600 millimeters embroidery field. As you know from ZSK, you can also drop the table down and you can use it as a cap machine or even as a tubular machine for t-shirts, polo shirts, and all these ready-made garments. We have a T8 control, which is also very versatile, where you can not only control your machine and you can see what is going on with your machine and the moment when it's doing the embroidery, but also you can prepare, for example, the machine for the next run. Here, all our machines in ZSK, you can equip the machine extra with the devices on the right and on the left-hand side. For example, here you see the latest device is the bead device. The bead device is containing single seed beads here, which you buy in bulk in different colors, and you can put them in this container, which is then turning and bringing them down to the feet. And the feet is like a sequin device, just stitching the individual beads step by step on the garment or in the fabric. This is doing at a maximum speed of 1,200 stitches per minute. And what else to tell you? That this is a very robust machine. It's a very solid machine. Only metal is used, also in the sides and heads. We have also an easy oiling system where you can have an easy access here through the holes to the needle bar, and it just needs 1 drop of oil per day. The machine has got a very, very thin tubular arm, which is completely different to all other tubular machines. We do not use any picker, and it's a very, very thin and long arm, the longest and thinnest in the industry. Whenever you need something more, please do not hesitate to ask us.
So here we are with our Sprint 6. This is our small, compact, single head machine. It's got 12 needles, and what we're showcasing on this is some specialty thread to really, again, give some cool look to your designs. We're using a Burmilana from Madeira. We're using 3 different colors here on our No Prob Llama. So here we're stitching on a really nice, bright, vibrant bag. We're stitching with the Burmilana. We're also stitching with a typical 40 weight thread and also some metallic threads, just to have, different look there. With including different threads, you can really kind of upsell your customers with the different look and kind of differentiate yourself from other people. You can see too that the llama has a metallic rim on his sunglasses, pretty cool. And the other thing that we're using is the Mighty Hoop. Now this Mighty Hoop is really nice for quick, fast, easy placement and hooping. So you're a bit more efficient on hooping. You can hoop faster, which makes you have faster production. The other thing with the Burmilana thread is that it is kind of a wool thread. It's a thicker thread, and it can get even kind of a new or a different looking effect when you use you can use a metal brush. This is from Madeira as well, and you can brush it to kind of have more of a fuzzy look. So this kind of gives it more, I don't know, a fur look of what we can do. So this really, really pops on this bright color. Color is another fun thing that we like to do. We like to make sure that, we're really using some just neat things to show everybody, give you ideas. So with digitizing for the Burmilana, we do want to make sure that we change certain aspects of the design, such as longer stitch lengths, more open density, so that it can accommodate for that thicker thread. The other thing is that we do want to use a larger needle. On this one, we're using a 90 needle, so it is a bit of a larger hole in the fabric. So again, that's why you want to use a longer stitch length and maybe a more open density. This gives a really cool hand look effect too. So, I can see in the decorative and apparel market doing things like flowers and just some, decor work. Looks really, really nice. They offer it in a wide range of colors, and just to show you what's different about embroidery. So we're wrapping up the show. You can start to see things behind me being torn down, and we're at the end. But want to show you one of our other models that we were showcasing here. This is a Racer 2W, 2 head with a wide field. And we have 2 different attachments on each head. One is our sequins device, which you can see it's got a reel of sequins, and that sequins reel it fishes through these rods here and then eventually goes through the foot. And it feeds the sequins, sews it down, and cuts it all at the same time. On the other side of the head, we have a hot air cutter. this utilizes air, heat, and pressure to actually cut our fabric without the use of like a laser or anything like that. So we can actually do onboard applique with this feature right here. Each head on a ZSK can actually adapt to any accessory that ZSK makes. So if you have a ZSK machine and you would like to add an attachment, you can do that. You can grow with the ZSK. You don't have to order it with the attachments on there automatically. So on this machine, we were using a very big hoop, kind of to showcase that field size that you can use. It is 12 needles. We're also using some metallic threads. And with this machine, we created a carnival mask. You kind of see that here. And you can see the fabric. This is actually our fabric that was cut with the hot air cutter. Again, that's using heat and pressure. And then we also have sequins. You can see the sequins is bordering or doing that cover stitch of the applique. So you can see you can do applique with different types of cover stitches and even specialty, specialty accessories. We're also using the metallic threads in here for the detail work. And it got quite a bit of attention. This is just something different, something fun that you can do. I see this a lot in the costuming market. I see it a lot in actually the athletic spirit wear, with the sequins. And there's just a bunch of things that you can do. You can even get the sequins, what we call twin sequins, which actually can do 2 sequins reels on one side of the head. So you could actually feed one sequin and then another, and then a different, and back to number 1. You could do all sorts of different combinations. So again, this is our Racer 2. It's a 12 needle, wide field machine. You can do hats, shirts. You can again do the border frame, kind of like what I was talking about with our forehead. And yeah, there's just a lot to offer. You can equip the machine with different accessories. We have cording, we have the hot air cutter, we have beading like you saw before. So yeah, we're just kind of trying to give you guys ideas. Thanks for joining us at the Long Beach 2020 Impressions Expo with ZSK Machines. We really appreciate you watching and visiting our booth.